evening. Welcome to my live broadcast. I'm very sorry. I do apologize for informing you late that I was going to go online. This is due to the fact that I was quite busy in the afternoon, but I had already decided that I was going to come online to just give you... Hello, welcome. Oh yeah, I'm getting feedback from this now. Yeah, so I was saying I'd already made up my mind that I was going to come and provide some information, and so I decided to just come live and provide the information. Okay, as you're watching, kindly like what you hear, kindly tag somebody that will benefit from this broadcast. So I had promised earlier that I was going to share the costs for the show house that I made a while ago. Okay, so there was a show house that I shared with everybody, and I said it was a low cost budget house. So today I'm just going to take you through the costs, and hopefully it's going to inspire somebody. I would like to just remind you that I'm not an expert in the industry. I'm just an entrepreneur who has taken interest in construction. So please bear that in mind. And also kindly note that I may not be able to provide you with all the information that you require for building. So please make sure you consult the experts so that you have a good product at the end of the day. Yes, so my name is Francine and welcome. So I'll start by talking about the foundation level. All right, so when you begin to build, you start by the foundation. I'm not going to use the actual terms that they use for construction, right? I don't really know the terms that well, but I'm going to use layman language. Okay, so bear with me. I'm going to start from the foundation level to the slab, and that is what I had shown you in that video. Okay, so the foundation level involves the digging of the ground. I already showed you that video. So in this one, I'm only going to talk about the budgeting cost that most people were asking about. So I'm going to look at my screen. I've got an Excel sheet in front of me that I'm going to look at. Please get a pen and paper. Have your pen and paper ready. Thank you so much for the stars. Thank you for joining. Again, I sincerely apologize for not letting you know in good time that I was going to go live. Anyhow, I know you are going to be able to watch it after I'm done. So yes, let's quickly go through this slab and foundation level. Get a pen and paper because I really didn't get a chance to write down everything. I can only read so that you can write down for yourself. So what you would need for this first stage would be the building blocks. I used 6-inch building blocks, all right? And I used 250, so you might need a bit more than that depending on the size. But I'm referring to the flat that I showed you, which is on my profile. So you would need 250. You might need a little bit more of blocks. And then I also used the quarry dust, which was 20 tons. I had some building sand, some gravel, cement, the brick force, the corn force. I hope you are writing down as we go. And then there was the polythene plastic, or some people will call it the industrial plastic. And then there's the Temiq. I want to emphasize on the Temiq. You have to make sure that you have the Temiq or any termite spray that liquid that you can find from whichever brand that you can get, but just make sure it is something that is going to last you a lifetime. Okay, that is going to help you with the ants. A lot of people complain about ants, so that is going to assist you. And then we use some pavers for that as well. And then there's something that people always forget. Okay, A lot of people will always forget to budget for transportation. Make sure you have your transportation cost included in the budget. Okay, so that is the first part of the building. That is the foundation and the slab. If you have any questions, kindly drop them in the comments and I'll be able to respond as we go, or I will come back and respond to you at a later stage. All right. Then let's move to the slab, from the slab to the wall plate. I apologize for my slow connection. I see that I'm getting a slow connection here. Are you able to read me or to see me? All right. So now we are moving on to the slab. The slab and, from the slab to the wall plate, what they call a wall plate, or you can call it to the roof level. It doesn't matter what you're going to call it, but what I know is that you are building from the slab to the top before you add on the roof. So let's look at the materials that you will need at this level. Again, I want to say I'm not an expert in the industry, but I am an entrepreneur with experience in building. Okay, so I feel I can actually give somebody the information that they need for this particular project. So again, you will need the 6 inches of blocks, the building blocks. That is what I need. Now, you can use whatever size that you want, but what is recommended for this kind of flat is the 6-inch size of blocks. And I use 1,100 blocks. Please write them down, because when it comes to the material and the quantity, I'm not going to repeat that. So you better just write them down. Can you imagine now the blocks are 11 kwacha each. 11 kwacha each. All right, so you will need to make sure that you begin to save accordingly, because it will be, maybe by the time you start building, it might be even 15 kwacha, because the price has been skyrocketing. It's just been moving, uncontrollably. So you will need 1,100 blocks. Remember, we are talking about just the 1-bedroom flat, okay? And so if you are looking at a bigger size, you will need more bricks. But what is important for you is to jot down the material that is required at this stage. And then you will require also the DPC. I wish I had some pictures for this, but since it's live, I don't have anything to show you right now. But the DPC is used as you begin to build. And then you also need the brick force wire. Okay, there's the cone force wire, and there's also the brick force wire. You will need those. If you recall, in my previous video, I had mentioned that there are little things that you can begin to buy and keep at home. You can actually use your salary to buy some of these things. I'm just looking at the cost so that I can tell you how practical this is. For instance, for the DPC, it would be somewhere around 65 kwacha. So you would have bought that and kept it for later use. And then for the brick force wire, it would be also around 35 kwacha. So you know exactly how much you are going to spend. It's not going to cost you that much. So I was saying there's certain kind of material that is going to cost you, that won't cost you much, which you can buy way before the project, and you can keep it without it going, being wasted. Okay, so please write down what I'm saying. You will need cement for this, and then you will need the Y12. The Y12 is some heavy metal that they normally put. I think it is I'm not sure whether, just before you get to the wall plate, there's a place where they place these heavy metals, and just make sure you buy from reputable companies, okay? And then you're also going to need steel nails. There are different kinds of nails. There's the steel nails and the wire nails. They are in different inches. So what I'm doing here is just to provide you with the list that you should have ready with you. so that when you go to see a builder, you already know what to expect from them. Don't be cheated to begin with, but also it's good for budgeting purposes. Okay, so I love to budget, and I would like to encourage others to budget. What I'm also trying to do is to inspire others to build, to actually rather encourage you. Let me use the word encourage. I would like to encourage you that, you know, you can do it. Okay, some things look unattainable, but you can do it. You just need to budget a little bit more. So something that you need to something that can cost you maybe 50,000 if you were to buy it, you know, at the same time, if you buy step by step, it's going to be affordable for you. So add on, please, the steel nails, and I know here I use the 3 inches. And then there's also something that we call the rings. Yes, the rings. There are rings also that you will need for this. Actually, we used, I think, 8. I think they come in batches of 10. Okay. Something that you shouldn't also forget to factor in is the transport cost. Normally, we're going to write down all the, you know, the budget and close the budget without adding the transport cost. The transport cost is important because for this stage, there is no way you are going to bring the Y12 home, you know, in your small car, or, you know, carrying it from the shops. It's the metal is very heavy. The first stage where I spoke about the foundation and the slab, you also need quarry, you also need the building sand, you need the blocks, so you still need to factor in the blocks. Please, you are free to share your comments, you are free to ask questions, and I'll be able to respond to them when I'm done. So this is the second stage. I've actually divided this project in 3 phases. When I was doing the budgeting for the entire house, including the fittings, I had different phases. I think I had up to phase 5 or phase 8, somewhere there. But this was for me so that I could follow. You know, when you're doing project management, you have to make sure that at each stage you are writing down what you are doing, and you know that you're going to manage the project, you know, well. So let's get to the last stage on the building. This is the frame. I'm not talking about fixtures today, but I'm just talking about the frame itself. So now that would be the roof. We've spoken about the foundation, the slab, and up to the wall plate. Now we are going to talk about the roofing. Okay, the roofing is very interesting. I can comfortably say now that I know what I'm doing. Okay, I may not have the terminology, and I may not be a seasoned expert like somebody who actually studied construction, but I know what I'm talking about, right? So you need to trust me. And by the way, I forgot to mention when I started that this video is aimed at assisting small timers. So if somebody is very well seasoned and somebody is a constructor, please, I'm afraid it's not for you, okay? Because I'm only trying to assist people who do not know what they need to do, or people who want to have an idea of what is happening around building so that they can begin to plan. So I'm just, you know, attending to people that need advice or need assistance, or people who want to know what is happening in the building. All right. So I'm sorry, I'm seeing that my network is slow. I'm not sure on your side whether it is slow or you are able to hear me clearly. Somebody let me know if you can hear me clearly. So lastly, we're looking at the roof. Okay. So for the roof, we all know that we will need some iron sheets or whatever you are going to use. I just want to talk about the roof for a moment. The roof can be very expensive, so you have to be wise when you choose what kind of roof you are going to use. I have seen some people choose, you know, that high-hipped roof. It's too high, and that is very expensive. Have you seen the planks that go under that roof? You know, that is extremely expensive. Let me just check. I'm not sure what's happening to my network. Am I on the grid? Okay, yeah, I'm using Wi-Fi. Can you hear me? Can somebody let me know if you can hear me? Because it's flashing on my side. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? All right, anyway, I'll continue. I'm not sure if you can still hear me. I see there are people watching here, but I'm not sure if you can hear me. I can see you, but my network keeps saying it's a bit slow. Okay. So yes, I was talking about the roof. Please pay attention to the kind of roof that you're going to choose. There's one roof that I would like to recommend, which is called a monopitch. That one is just a slanting roof. It's the one that I've used in the flat. If you haven't seen the flat that I showcased the other day, please go to my profile and okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Please just go to my profile and look at the flat that I showcased. That one has a roof which is slanting. That is the cheapest roof you are going to get. I used that one after I did the research. I'm doing you at least a favor. You don't have to go around and try to find out which roof is going to work for you. Avoid the monopitch. The worst roof, not in terms of fans, the worst roof is the hidden roof. Unless you can find a builder who knows how to fix that one, don't use it. You're going to waste money. Those roofs leak. And those roofs are made for certain kind of weathers, certain kinds of regions. So for certain countries, they're really not advisable. Okay, but you can do whatever you want. That is just my research, and that is the information that I'm passing on to you. Avoid that kind of roof. A lot of people who've had that roof can actually attest to that. They are not the best. Then the high-pitched one, maybe for a bigger house, it can work, but I find that it is very costly. It's perfectly fine to use that type if that's what you want, but it can be costly. Now, when we are looking at budget saving, you are better off going with a mono pitch, the one that slides. Others would call it a two-shade roof. Okay, it's slanting, and that is perfect. Okay, so you would need iron sheets. So for this particular flat, we use 6 sheets for one side, which was longer than the other. So that was 7 millimeters. So we used 6 of that. And then for the other side, it was a little bit shorter. We used 3.5 millimeters, and we still use 60. So in all, we used 12 for this flat. Okay, I'm going to tell you the price as soon as I'm done with this, the costing. If you want to know any cost of the material that I've mentioned here, you can ask in the comments. I will respond to that. And then you will need, of course, the roofing nails. The roofing nails are different from the other nails. These are the small things I'm talking about. You can actually buy these things, begin to buy them slowly. When you get paid, maybe you've got 1,000 left over or 500. For instance, the nails 180. You know how much are these nails? They are 180 kwacha, meaning in 1,000 you would have bought quite a number of things. You could even buy, iron sheets. 6 iron sheets, from the 1,000. So that's why I was saying, this is doable. You can do it if you are focused. Okay, I really want to encourage you. I really want to come back and say, after I watched that video, I was inspired. I went to do this project. We all need to have a roof. It's important that we get a roof. It doesn't matter the fittings. I always say, get the frame. The fittings, you can compromise on the fittings. It's fine as long as you've got the roof, under your head. And then you're going to need timber. Now, there's different kinds of timber that you're going to buy for the roof. So they just look like long planks, and they're different sizes. I've got 3 different sizes here, and they're for different use. And then you need thinners, of course. They use it with the wood preservative, I think. Now, you make sure that you have the wood preservative there, because when you are installing the wood, at some point it can rot. You know how it is with time. Then you see the roof dropping, and you know, you get all sorts of problems with that. So the wood preservative is not expensive. This, I think, per bottle was like 35 kwacha. So the prices that you are given sometimes are extremely high. That is why I keep encouraging you to go to these places, go and see, you know, what these things cost. I had to go there myself. It's easy, especially when you can afford to just sit, fold your arms and just give money to people, and then they come back and give you something that is 3 times, 5 times the price. And because you've got the money, you're thinking, who cares? But anyway, I'm a finance person, and if I can save, I'm going to save. I'm not a shorthand, but what I'm just saying is, let us save. We need to build wisely. Children of God, let us wake up. Let us be wise. So I'm actually giving this information free because let's help each other. Okay. I believe that when we help each other, you know, it's going to be a better nation. Instead of always wanting to get something out of somebody, let's be givers, and then, you know, God will sort us out. So yes, I'm talking about the timber, the different kinds of timber, the thinners, the wood preservative, and then there's the tying wire that you will need. Of course, they know what they're going to tell you what they need it for. I don't need to know what they use it for, even though I have been there. All right. Somebody is saying they can't hear now. Are you able? Lulu, can you hear? I don't know if anybody else is not able to hear, but somebody there, Peter had said that he was able to hear. I don't know if others are able to hear. Okay, so then talk about the nails. There are different kinds of nails again for the roof. And then you have the roller brush, and then again, you will need to add the cost for the delivery. Okay, so never forget to add the cost for delivery. And then, you know, there are times if you are staying in a place like, you know, like you're not close to the market where you're supposed to source the goods. Sometimes the closest place to your home might look like they're expensive. Just calculate the distance. The transport money is going to add up there. So you don't really need to go to the CBD. You can buy from whichever, you know, area you are stationed at. So yes, I've just gone through the materials that will be required, from footing, the foundation, the slab, and then to wall plate. And now I have just done the roof. All right. So now I'm going to look at the cost, the actual cost for that. From this, just for the slab, going back to my spreadsheet, just for the foundation and slab, the total cost there, now these are estimates. It might be different for you depending on your area, okay? And then it might also be different for you because prices are skyrocketing every day. The price is different. So these materials were bought, when was that? Sometime in December, November, December. That's when these materials were bought. But of course, this is a new year, and this is what we have. Yeah, was it December? Somewhere there. Yeah. So the total cost anyway for this is 34,000. I've factored in the transport. I've factored in the labor. The total cost was 34,070. Okay, please write down if you've got pen and paper. This is doable, and but you should do, if you don't have all of it, don't have all the money, you can do it slowly. Now I'll tell you what was blown out of proportion here. Not long ago, a few months ago, the quarry dust was 3,000 kwacha. Right now, they say because of load shedding, and they've given all sorts of stories, this has just blown up to 7,000. So from 2,500 and 3,000, it has just blown up to 7,000. So whether you like it or not, your quarry dust is at 7,000, and that is for 20 tons only. And then the bricks, of course, just shot up from 9 kwacha to 11 kwacha. I think in some areas the bricks are 12 kwacha. So for just the foundation box, the blocks were 2,750 kwacha. Yes, and then of course the labor pushes the cost up. The labor was 8,000. Now I had a deal. I had to strike a deal. You might not find builders. Just do your shopping around, shop around, and find people that can give you a good price. But be careful, because when you want to negotiate too much, you're going to end up getting rubbish. That is how it works, okay? Somebody is going to negotiate. You end up wanting, when it's quite tricky. It's like when you do supply chain, if you understand supply chain, you get 3 quotations. Just because somebody is expensive doesn't mean they're doing a good job, okay? But also somebody might be cheap and you don't want to use them, but they could do a good job. And then it could be the worst, that the cheapest is really the worst. So don't try to negotiate too much to the point that, you shoot yourself in the foot. But anyhow, if you can find somebody who can do the foundation for a 1-bedroom flat for this price, then you are good. So it could be around 10,000, or it could be around maybe between 10 and 15,000. Those are the quotations that I got previously. So this was really a bargain. So I would also encourage you to find somebody that can help you with that. Okay, so then let's go to from slab to beam. What I know now is that the slab and foundation and the roof are the most expensive when it comes to building. So you can't run away from that cost. It's always expensive to put up the foundation and slab, and then now to cover the house is very costly. So yes, the total cost for the slab to the ring beam is just about 24,000. Okay? The building blocks are pushing the budget up. The labor wasn't so much because it wasn't bad. It was 5,000, but it was the blocks, and it was the blocks that just pushed everything up. The cement is not so bad, because the cement was around 172 kwacha. Okay, so you can compare in the different places in town. I think now it's about 175. Yes, it's about 175. So you can begin to budget likewise. Okay, and then the roofing. Finally, the roofing, because I told you I use the mono pitch. That is my recommendation for a budget flat. It comes to 13,523. That is inclusive of labor. Okay, so my tip is to pay as you go. Pay for the labor as you go, and stop there if you don't have money to continue. Do the next part, pay for the labor, rest if you don't have, and continue as you go. If you've got, why not? Just cruise on with it. Now the total cost for the frame only, remember I'm not talking about the fittings. If people would like me to talk about the fittings, I would be happy to do that at some point so that you get the clear picture. So the total cost for just the frame, which is the foundation, slab, up to the roof, it comes to 71,562. How's that? What do you think? Write in the comments. I just want to know what your thoughts are about this. The reason I said it's a low budget flat is because I sourced some of this material from places where other people don't want to go, but I really don't care. I want to save, it's a big project, so you want to save. Bring them on camera. What would you like me to bring on camera? Jackie is saying bring them on camera. Jackie is requesting for something. I'm not sure what she would like me to share on camera. All right, so this is why I said it was a low budget flat. You are going to understand why I also said it was a low budget when I do the fittings, because I didn't do what others do, and that is what I would encourage anybody. If you are a business person, let's talk about breaking even. If you are doing flats for business purposes, okay, so if you are a business person, Don't do very expensive things. Make your place beautiful. Let it be smart. Let it be neat. There's no need for you to, break your bank, by buying expensive things. What you must know is that rentals in certain areas are defined. So if your property is in a certain place and that place can only fetch 3,000, that's all it's going to fetch. If it can only fetch 5,000, there's nothing more. So do not try to do extravagant things. Just let it be a place that is habitable. Okay. I'm seeing a comment here. I'm not sure. Maybe it's me who's not understanding the technique here about bringing them on camera. I'm not sure. Somebody help me. What do you mean when you say I should bring them on camera? Let me see if I can read properly from my phone. All right, I'm seeing some okay, there's going to be an echo if I continue. Yes. So this is what I had. Now I was going to just talk to the people who are in business, when you are building, I'll give you an example. I used to have a hair salon, and the mistake that I made, I learned such a big lesson. I don't want to carry it over to any other business that I'm going to work on. So the mistake that I made with the hair salon, I bought expensive equipment. Now, you know that if somebody is coming to wash their hair, if it's a fixed price of 100 kwacha, it's 100 kwacha. It doesn't matter how much your chair costs. It doesn't matter how much the wash basin costs. It doesn't matter how much your hair dryer costs. The bottom line is the hair is going to be 100 kwacha. There's no way you're going to charge 500 kwacha. Okay, so you will overprice yourself. So for those that are trying to build, I saw Jackie commented on my post. She was talking about a bed and breakfast place that she'd like to do. Just do something simple. Okay, I'm going to talk about the fittings that I have. It's going to save you so that you can break even quickly. So what happens is you're going to spend, instead of spending the 71,000, you would have spent maybe 150 already just for the shell. Okay, and if you pick the wrong roof, just the roof alone sometimes can be 100,000. And how much are you going to charge for the rooms? I'm referring now to the bed and breakfast. How much are you going to charge for the rooms if your roof alone was 100,000? It means your place is going to be very expensive and it's going to be difficult for you to break even. There will be no profit, and then it's the issue of operating cash because all the money went down. What we want is just to have a neat place. Okay, so I learned hard when I did the hair salon. Yes, so thank you everybody. If you don't have questions, I can see that there's some posts here, but I'm not able to read them. For some reason, I'm not able to read them. For the roof, if your roof alone was 100,000, it means your place is going to be. Yes. So thank you so much for joining me. If you would like me to talk about the fixtures and how much the fixtures cost, I am happy to give you that information as well. We are building each other. We are pulling each other up. We always say we rise by pulling each other up. Isn't it so? Yeah, so I'm one person that wants to give that information. I'm always pouring out into people's lives. But tonight, I just want to remind you that you can do it. You can do all things through Christ because he gives you strength, right? So that vision that you have, know that you can build slowly. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night.